Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tom, Dick, and Harry podcast. I am Harry, and I'm joined by my co host, Tom. Normally, we are joined by Dick, but we don't know where he is today. Hopefully, he joins us on a future episode. Tom, say hello to the audience.
Hello, everyone.
And how are you tonight, Tom?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Tonight, we've got an article for you, and we'd really like to get your thoughts on it. It's the Men's Guide to Menopause. Now,
Sure.
Tom, when you hear the word menopause, what comes to your mind?
I'm thinking raging hormones.
And I guess, how would you define it?
Women getting old.
And is that the extent of your knowledge regarding the word menopause?
I'm not a scientist.
Now, maybe you can answer this, Tom. It's very simple. What is the first three letters of menopause?
Men.
That's correct.
Is
It
this
spells
a
out
trick
men.
question?
Now, why is that? You think it concerns women?
Men are the one that suffers from it.
All right, all right. I disavow that. Tom has his thoughts. That brings me to my second question, Tom. Have you ever noticed changes? I know you don't have a partner, but maybe you've got a few female friends and family members. Have you ever noticed a change in your friends or family members that might have been related to menopause, but you didn't realize it at the time?
Not to my knowledge. I think some of the women are a bit too young. They seem to be going through mood swings like they're on menopause.
Is that a characteristic related to menopause? Mood swings.
I feel like that's one of them.
You feel like it, or do you know it?
I cannot 100% certainly say what the symptoms are, just that they're not good for us.
Okay. I disavow that too, by the way. And that brings me to my third question. Why do you think it's important? Or maybe why is it uncomfortable for men to talk about it?
I don't think we're uncomfortable at all. It affects us in a poor way, and they can't accept that.
Could you describe what you mean by it affects
Well,
us in a
they, they,
poor
they're
way?
thinking it's only affecting them. Their moods is affecting me when I get home and she snaps at nothing because of her menopause. That's ruining my day, not just hers.
And who are you referring to when you say her? Is it, or you just mean women in
I
general?
would say in general.
I
I would
disavow
put a
that too.
broad spectrum on this. I
Hmm.
would say
Yep.
99% of women
Oh, okay.
have the craziest mood swings.
Where did you pull that percentage from?
From 99 women that I've met out of 100,
That brings me to my next question, Tom. What kind of support do you think women might want from men such as yourself during menopause, even if, we
uh,
don't fully
I can
understand
answer
it?
that very easily.
Okay.
We don't know. They don't tell us. Communicate. Say what you want. You want a
Right.
heating pad? I'll get it.
Right.
You want some chocolates? I could get it. But then they just give you that death stare, and when you don't do anything, then they're angry.
Describe that moment when you receive the death stare. What are you thinking?
Or usually you're sitting on the couch with a beer, having a lovely evening, and she just comes in and ruins it. What have I done to
Yes.
make you feel bad? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm
Right.
not a mind reader.
And your night's ruined. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if I can't sit peacefully and just have a beer, I would say, yeah, my night's ruined. Nagging and emotional damage.
And you attribute this to menopause.
I wouldn't just attribute it to menopause. I would attribute it to women in general.
I see. So it's just a natural characteristic of the
But I would
of
say it
femininity.
gets much more severe during menopause.
I see. Again, I disavow this for anyone who's listening. These are purely Tom's thoughts, but we still
I
appreciate it
feel
because,
like as a community, all men would agree with me.
mate, I don't think you speak for all men, but thanks for the
Yeah,
comment.
I stand for the common man.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Yes, the everyman. Okay. Well, this comes to my last question before we actually dig into the article itself, Tom. I guess after learning a bit about menopause with your limited knowledge, is there anything that surprises you?
I would say there'd be a whole lot that would surprise me that I don't know about.
Okay. Well, I mean, that gives us a perfect segue into actually reading this article, A Men's Guide to Menopause. Shall we dig in?
Dig in, mate.
All right. I'll start us off. Menopause is not just a woman's issue, this author writes. It is a family issue, a relationship issue, a community issue that reaches far beyond biology. It shapes marriages and friendships,
It also
intimacy.
ends marriages.
Hang on, Tom. Hang on. We're almost there. Let me get through the first paragraph. It shapes marriages, friendships, intimacy, trust, patience, and the everyday ways we stay connected to each other as we grow older together. Thoughts, Tom? Thoughts? Would you
Well,
say
that
it's a
ending
community
got a
based
bit.
issue?
I'd say it's a base issue for everyone.
Okay. Yep. And you would agree with the notion that it reaches far beyond biology.
I would disagree on that. I go,
In what
it's
sense?
biology and it's chemistry.
Yes, but Tom, by saying it's a community based issue, you would say it seeps over into the social realm. So it is a biological issue at the heart, but it does seep into our social connections. Well, according to this
Yes,
article,
it
it does.
can affect relationships in a social manner.
Yes, okay. And then that's what it's saying. And then it says, yet most men know almost nothing about it. And that is not their fault. I think you'd agree with
Correct.
that, would you not?
That's good. It's for good reason. First of all, we don't want to know. Second of all, no one tells us. How are we
Well,
meant to regulate your emotions when you don't even know what's going on?
well, Tom, I think this article is implying that we don't know much about it. It's not our fault, but it clearly it's an issue that affects everyone. So maybe we should get to know more about it. What would you say to that?
I'd be happy to learn more about it, to
Okay,
be
perfect.
fair.
Perfect. So you'd say you've still got an open mind.
I've got an open mind, but I will 100% say most guys don't know what's going on.
Right. It continues here. Many women walk into premenopause completely unprepared for what this transition does to their bodies and minds. So
Just want
how
to
could
point
their
out they had
partners?
about 40 years to prepare for it.
I think it's implying, Tom, that they themselves don't. They don't know much about it either.
I think they should do more research on it. If you're a woman and you don't know what's coming your way, it's like if I was a guy and I knew I'm going to get prostate cancer, I'd like to know what my steps are.
I see. Yes, yes. Now it goes on here, Tom. Menopause is more than hot flashes. One of the biggest myths is that menopause means a few hot flashes and no more periods, according to this article.
And
The
no more
reality is
babies.
far bigger and more powerful to understand. It's the culmination of a years long transition called premenopause, where three major hormones, estrogen, proestrogen, and testosterone, shift in ways that affect nearly every organ system in a woman's body. Do you think that's pretty powerful, Tom?
Yep, I will agree. That's a major change in a woman's body.
Yeah, and what do you think's going through the woman's mind when she realizes this?
That's my biggest issue right there. I don't know.
You
I
don't know.
don't think that
Okay,
they know, but they do not share either how they're feeling.
right. And you think they should?
If they want us to understand and be more reasonable, yeah, I think communication is the key.
Well, it goes on here to discuss the functions of these different hormones. Estrogen, for example, does far more than regulate periods. Its receptors are spread throughout the brain, bones, muscles, blood vessels, bladder, immune system, and skin. Estrogen keeps blood vessels flexible, helps manage inflammation, preserves bone strength, and protects memory and mood. When estrogen swings wildly and then drops abruptly due to the ovaries stopping their function, every system must adapt to its absence. What do you think on that, Tom?
I'm definitely not a scientist, so I followed like 10% of that.
Yeah, I thought so. Let's move on from the hormones because I think that's just going to get you in the weeds. Let's move on to the physiology. So, this is not a weakness, according to the article, it's physiology. So, when women say they don't feel like themselves, they mean it. Their brains, bones, metabolism, and relationships are adjusting to a radical hormonal recalibration. Does any of that make sense to you?
Yeah, I get it. I do understand. You do not have to go through any of that.
We don't. But we should know more about it, should we not, Tom?
I feel like we should know more, but it's also hard for us to understand without being able to go through it.
Exactly. Now, according to this article, Tom, menopause is a time of reckoning. What does your mind think when you hear that?
That sounds accurate.
So it's a time of reckoning for many couples. It often shines a bright light on parts of a relationship that have been on autopilot for years. It can reveal unspoken needs, unaddressed tensions, or distance that has grown quietly while life carried on. That sounds pretty intense, Tom. I didn't know that it could do that.
I would have to agree with you.
If you were in a relationship, Tom, I know you're not currently, but if you were, I feel like that would throw a spanner in the works, would it not?
I feel like this comes back to communication. If they're telling you things aren't changing,
Right?
things are stagnant, then you change, you improvise. As I would not say it's just a menopausal issue.
Well, so it's a communication based issue.
Would think so personally, yes.
Right. Okay. Now, Tom, the author offers hope here because she goes on to write this is not always a crisis. For many couples, this is an invitation. It is a chance to pause, to learn, and to say, what do we need now? What does intimacy look like in this new season? What does support really look like when one's partner's entire physiology is shifting under her feet? Would you see that as an invitation, Tom, as the author suggests?
I would, but
Well, it kind of goes
once
back to
again,
what you were saying about communication.
communicate.
It's an invitation to be more communicative.
Exactly. If you're not telling me what's going on, how do you expect me to come back with the right responses?
And now, to learn more about this, Tom, would you suggest that we start having, in schools, menopause classes so men understand more?
I'd say there should just be more in school for both male and female. I feel like they're a bit unprepared when it comes to it as well. It's not just the men.
Right? So it's everyone.
Yeah, shine the light on it, mate. Spread some more factual information about what's going to happen, changes to the body.
Right. Yes. So more education.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay. And would you be willing yourself to teach these classes?
Absolutely not. I do not, for one, have the information
Well, ideally, you've done the
to
training, Tom, and
inform
you've
others.
you've acquired the knowledge, and then you go out to these.
If I had the correct knowledge and
Right.
understanding to
You become a
teach,
menopause professor.
then yes, I could, but I'm not that type of person.
Well, Tom, the author of this article gives us some practical steps to stand by our women as they go through menopause. Would you like to hear some of this?
Hit me with them, pal.
Well, the first practical step is to believe her. So her exhaustion is real. The change in her body, mood, sleep, and desire are real. Listen first. She needs to know that she does not have to convince you. Thoughts, Tom?
Once again, I'm going to go with this is not just a menopausal issue. This is an all-around issue.
Right.
If your girlfriend or partner is complaining about issues and you just shrug it off, obviously the relationship is going to be in a decline.
So you're saying, again, keep an open dialogue, discuss your problems head on.
Absolutely, but it's definitely on a lot of guys will shrug it off.
You
Listen
think?
to your partner.
Okay. Yep.
Just you can't just say, yeah, that's all right. Like a guy talking to another guy will just say, yeah, get over it. It's a completely different conversation with your partner or a female.
And now this brings us to the second practical step, Tom, and that's to learn with her. Learn what estrogen, proestrogen, and testosterone do. Understand why appropriate hormone therapy is not about vanity, but about protecting her brain, her bones, her heart, sleep, and the connection you share.
I 100% agree. This is also with communication. If we could
Exactly.
communicate what the issues are,
Mm-hmm.
talk about it, and figure it out before it becomes an issue.
Yes. That comes to the next practical step. Talk about intimacy and keep showing up. She is still herself, it says. Stand beside her while she finds her way back to feeling whole. Be the reason she knows she does not have to face this alone. And I think you'd agree with that, wouldn't you, Tom?
100%.
Now, the article ends here with the next steps. So, menopause has never just been her burden, it is a season of life that demands real science and real compassion. Any thoughts there, Tom?
I'd say it's just be prepared before it happens.
So, just be prepared. What does that mean?
Like, have the information, have the knowledge before it gets to that stage. Do your research. If you know that you've noticed mood swings, you've noticed a change in your partner, don't wait for her to be the one to tell you.
Mm. Now, Tom, that brings us pretty much to the end of the article. We didn't read the whole thing, so that'd be a waste of time, obviously.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Have you learned anything?
I've learned that there's a lot I don't know. And biologically, I'm not the best at this. I don't know estrogen, testosterone, all these things. I'm not a scientist. I understand females got more estrogen, male have more testosterone, and it is a major shift when menopause happens for a woman. But that being said, what it does to the body, I do not 100%
Mm, mm.
know or have a full understanding on.
But the main takeaway I got from your comments is that communication is important and that we should be there to support these women who are going through this.
100%. If you're not going to support your woman, why be there?
Tom, I think we'll leave that topic there for a moment. Is there anything you'd like to add before we move on to the next topic?
I'd be happy for the next topic.
You'd be happy, would you?
I would be.
Okay. Well, let's get into a controversial topic. What do you think about transgender athletes participating in female sports, specifically individuals who are born male, who transition into female, and then participate in female sports? What do you think, Tom?
I do watch a couple Instagram reels and they're pretty funny. And the male swimmer dominates in the female league. It's a good laugh, but it should not be done in real events. If you're born a male, you're a male. If you're born a female, you're a female. You can't
Mm.
just change whatever you want.
Now, what about the suggestion where we have a middle ground league in the sense that,
Yeah, I would disagree with that.
oh, okay, so obviously we've got the male division, we've got the female division. What about just a division for transgender athletes?
There's not enough percentage of them for entertainment purposes. Like, look at the female equivalent to male equivalent already in
Mm.
almost every sporting event. Males produce more money, more entertainment through the sports, and then you're going to take a transgender one, which is what, less than 1 point something% of the population. Who's going to watch that? Who's going to be entertained?
I see your point, Tom. What do we do for this third category? Do we just ignore it?
We don't make one.
I see. You mean we
Back in
just
the day, they would have been sent to the asylum.
oh, okay, I see that. I disavow that, but okay. Yep.
If you've got a mental illness, get it fixed.
Tom, you got some pretty direct thoughts. What annoys you the most in this life?
What annoys me most? Slow walkers. Oh, this is going to be It's not even that bad. Just slow walkers. If you're walking in front of me, get out the way. Like, it's just some of the worst people.
Okay. What do you do to combat that?
Usually I give an oi, out the way.
Or do you just try and skirt around them?
If it's going to put me on the road, no, I'm giving a little shout.
Mm.
Come on, mate. Move it along. It's like 5 people in a group and they take up the whole path.
Yes, that is
Bugger
annoying.
off, mate. Single file line it.
So that's number one. What would you say your number two thing that annoys you the most?
This is a hard one. There's so many things that annoy me. It's not even in like a category order.
Okay.
Loud eaters. Oh, it's the worst. You go
Yes.
to a restaurant, someone's smacking their teeth on some pasta.
What about
Close your mouth, mate.
people who fail to respond to your messages in an appropriate
Dickheads.
time frame?
You got 24 hours to respond to a message. If you can't do it within that, you're an absolute dickhead. 24 hours, if you don't respond within that,
Right.
you're either mentally retarded. Like, seriously, it's not that hard to pick up your phone and go, hey, buddy, how are you doing?
I guess not. Given the fact that phones are a part of us at this point, we're basically on them 24/7, you'd think it'd be pretty easy just to send a simple message in response. Is that fair to say? You'd think, yes.
I can send a message within 24 hours to anyone.
The question is, what if you don't want to speak to them?
Then why do you have the number? That's the issue. If
Right.
you don't want to speak to someone, don't get their number. Don't be friends with them.
So would you suggest culling your contact list down to the people who you speak to regularly and consistently with?
So not necessarily. If you can't text someone within 24 hours, why speak to them?
Yes.
And not everyone needs to be texted every day. But
No.
if they respond to you like once a month, every 2 weeks, why can you not respond within the day? Why is it going to be 2 weeks later, a month later? You're not that busy, mate.
Would you say 48 hours is even too long?
I would say 24. If 48,
Okay,
I've
that's
lost
the limit. Okay. I think that's reasonable, Tom. So to play devil's advocate, do we expect too much? We live in this digital age where we expect everything very quickly. Is it not all right to take things slow?
to take things slow, yeah, but it's not a hard ass to give me a message back in 24 hours. You can literally write, hey, mate, I'm busy. I'll respond later. It's simple copy and paste. You could send that to 20 people.
Well, Tom, I think we're wrapping up here. Is there any final thoughts you want to leave the audience?
If you're one of those slow walkers, get out of my way. You can see us coming behind you.
Yes.
We're not following you. Stop looking at me like I'm pedo. Get out of my way. I want to get to my destination.
Yes. Please keep that in mind to those slow walkers out there. Get out of Tom's way, or you may suffer the consequences. Is that fair to say, Tom?
That's fair to say.
Okay. Thank you for anyone who listened to this episode of Tom, Dick, and Harry podcast.
And sorry to anyone who listened.
I think we did it right. Now, if you're listening and you'd like to share your story, or even just to suggest a topic of discussion for our next episode, please send an email via the Tom and Dick and Harry podcast at outlook.com. And goodbye for now.